with sophomore offensive tackle Antoine White, and this is your initial appearance on Coach's Corner, correct?
Yeah, it's the first time.
Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on. Antoine, when did you first get involved playing football?
I started midget league when I was about 6 years old. Started off on the Raiders, and from there played all the way till I was about 12, 13 years old, and I came up here as a freshman.
Now, because you're a pretty big guy right now, were you this big when you were a young guy growing up, or did you kind of hit a growth spurt? Because sometimes when guys are this big, they're always overweight and they can never play youth league.
I was always the tallest kid in my class pictures. I had my dad beat by 10, so I've always been a big guy, but I'd say I hit a growth spurt around 12. I hit about 6 foot, 12, and then I just stayed that way, and I grew a couple inches more as years came by.
Now, last year you come out as a freshman, and you're kept on the varsity. You remember anything like what it was like to be on the varsity, even though you weren't a true varsity starter? But, I mean, you know, as a freshman, usually most of the freshmen play with freshmen. It's a little bit different.
I remember it was a good experience. I mean, all the older guys were very helpful. No one was, you know, prejudiced against me because I was a young guy.
Right.
They all stepped right up. I knew if I had a problem, I could turn right to the next guy, and he'd help me with the issue. Or they just welcomed me in. So I knew my place. I knew where to go. I knew things. And now this year he's given me a better experience on things. I know more about the defense, more about the offense.
Do you think, even though you didn't play a lot of varsity last year, because I guess in some of the games you got to play in a little bit at the end of the games, and you know that's par for the course. But do you think that helped you this year, that you were here last year, and there were some of the terminology and the drills you had already known?
I think it slowed it down a bit for me. It's not as fast now. And I mean, I am still a young guy, but now that I got that extra year in experience, I got to see a lot of seniors, you know, a lot of senior linemen who left last year. I got a lot of time on the line, got to see them do the stuff, and just picked right up after.
So now this year you get to start, and what was it like for your first varsity start as a 10th grader? I guess we go back to middle, correct?
Yeah, I mean, the first game coming off, I guess you could say I was a little nervous because I am a young guy. I didn't want to mess things up and be the cause of the problem. But I mean, before the game, you know, Tyndall and everyone talked to me and said, just don't wet the bed with it. Just go out there, play like you've been playing in the scrimmages, play in the practices, and be the player you can be. And I just went out there and I got it done.
What's some of the things about defensive tackle that you like? What's the fun part about the position?
Being in the mix almost. I mean, a lot of plays that go up the middle, you're always in there. I mean, at the end, you get a little bit more shine on the outside plays. But it's in the middle, you get to clog it up, you get to drive your guy right back into the play, and you get a lot of notoriety for that.
There's a lot of banging around every play, too. I mean, not like, you know, because we kid with the secondary guys sometimes, and, you know, they get to take some plays off, because if you're a secondary guy, sometimes the play doesn't come your way, it doesn't clear the line of scrimmage. But for you guys up there, I mean, it's hit every play.
Yeah, every play, it's a battle, every play.
Now, being a 10th grader, you talked about, you know, being a young guy, but probably one of the hardest things sometimes is learning that offensive line. And I know Coach Trout's trying to give you some reps there, but that's probably not quite as easy as being a defensive tackle, at least mentally wise. Would you agree?
There's a lot of other things that go into being an offensive lineman. I give those guys a lot of respect for going out there and doing it, especially the guys that go both ways, because when you switch from defense right to offense, there's a lot of more stuff that's involved. There's a lot of more plays. The tackles have different assignments than the guards have different assignments than the centers. It's all different, so you got to know what you're doing to go.
And I would assume Coach Trout is grooming you for next year, because you know when you're this big, you're going to have to become a two-way player.
He tells me all the time, you got to learn this stuff. I mean, I know you like defense, but the offense is you got to play both ways.
So far, you know, Bolts are 5-0. Couldn't have asked for anything better than where we are right now, correct?
I mean, I can't speak for the older guys who were here when the season was doing bad, but I know it's a great feeling now that I'm here and I'm a part of this program and a part of this team when we're doing so positive. So it's a great step to be here at this time right now.
Even though you are a sophomore, you know, I tell people all the story about Dwayne Hendricks when he was a 9th grader. You know, he came to me halfway through his year and said, you know, I want to go to college and I want to be a Division I player. And I said, well, you got to do something better in the classroom. You know, unfortunately, he did. What about your aspirations, even though you're a 10th grader? Is that something down the road that you would like to do?
Yeah, I would definitely like to progress past high school and, you know, move on to college and go there wherever that takes me. But as far as right now, I mean, my grades they're pretty good, and I'm trying to work my way. You know, coaches just help me through it, and hopefully by my senior year, I'll have some colleges after me.
I think you probably will. Have you given any thought to what you'd like to do besides play football, what you might want to major in when you go to college?
Like law enforcement.
So you're going to look into law
I
enforcement.
like law enforcement.
All right. Well, now you know we got a Saturday game this week. I know this is one of the things as a head coach you're always worried about. When you got your teams doing something different, we've played all Friday nights, and now we get a day game. But I know Coach Dorham talked about that. One of the things is that may prepare us for is that we get a playoff game we could play on a Saturday. So this may be a prep for us somewhere down the road.
I mean, I guess right now this Saturday game is getting us mentally stable for what's down the road. I mean, it is going to be a little different because it's Friday night high school football, but I mean, when you love the sport, you get out there in any condition you want to play. So as long as we keep our minds right during the week, everything should be fine for us.
All right, Antoine. Well, you're doing a great job this year as a 10th grader. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All right, and when we come back, we're going to spend some time with head coach Jason Dorham. Stay with us. You're watching Coach's Corner.